Okay, so I have to have it turned this way and have the door shut. Uh like look what happens if the light and then with the door open, well now it's not doing it so much right there. It was like this whole big light was coming through in the door when I had it open, it was making this big light go through. You can still kind of see like the light going, but I don't know, it was weird. But that was like this whole like making this big light like go across in the from something out there reflecting and making it come in the house, and it was going across the screen. You couldn't see. I still think this looks like weird to see how it looks more clear. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm sure Stella will come to the door. She's super antsy. And then you'll see if it's still doing it. Because I tried to leave it open even a little and it was still horrible. So, but let me think of all the things I wanted to talk about because there was a few things. So, I just saw a video and this woman, I mean, she's bawling her head off and crying like her house is on fire. It's engulfed, like it's totally engulfed, and and it's like totally raw moment because she's like hysterical, and it just happened. And then I went on to look, um, who she was, because I didn't know, and then I saw it was like a I don't know how big her, I didn't go look and see how many followers she had or whatever, but she's a content creator. I've seen her. I've ran across her. And she's just lost everything. She was like freaking out. She's like, oh my God, I just lost everything, everything. But I guess he saved her dogs. But I mean, I don't know. Like you just come home and that's what you come home to. Firemen, your house is engulfed with fire. I guess, you just like kind of lose it. And like a very traumatic moment. But I don't know. I guess there was a lot of people who want to film all those really traumatic moments. Like, so I don't know. But like there was that. There was something else I saw right after that that was like, oh my God, it just kept seeming like there was like a lot of different things. Like there's a lot of different things happening. One thing too is I saw somebody doing a thing saying that hydroxylar paste or whatever is really toxic for you, that your body can't break down that mineral. So I don't know. This is like adding all this stuff in. I still say everything natural. Like even if it's a mineral and you're not processing it well, there would be some sign in your body. Like there would be something to let you know. And it's not like chemicals that are hurting you. And it's so weird how people are so comfortable with the chemicals, but then you start talking about natural stuff and they start being like really weary. Like, well, is it toxic? Well, is it going to hurt me? Well, I'm going to go be poisoned. And it's like, people are so accepting of all these chemicals. Like they look at the ingredients list of what they're about to eat. They don't know what half the shit is. Still eat it. And then you start saying about natural stuff and it starts being like panic. It's weird. Um, but let me think, because there was like a bunch of stuff. Sometimes that happens. I sit down and I start feeling like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. If I can keep up, if I can, it's like, sometimes you just got to relax. Relax. And, one thing too, I wanted to say is like this morning, like this thing has been really going crazy, this sore. And then it was like in the last 12 hours, it turned black again. The hole turned black again and broke out real bad. So I got the horse paste, put that on there. And then I put the oregano oil up there. And then in a little while, I put castor oil too. So I had put, like, I was just on top of it. And then keep moving the lymph, like keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it out. And what is so weird is right around in here, out like a whole bunch of times. I'm not going to say every time because it's not every time, but a bunch of times, I'll feel something, what feels like a bubble in there somewhere, like a bubble under the skin or something, and I can feel it move. And I mean, like, I think it's pretty amazing, like, how clear my sinuses are since I started doing that lymph movement and stuff. And even the moving with whatever, because whatever was going on, it was already happening for a couple of years. It kept breaking out and breaking out, breaking out. And the doctors are just like, they have no idea. It's just so wacky, man, how people are just being so experimented on. Like we all are. Like we do this shit and we think it's safe and it's not. Like they're just, well, let's see. You let us know if it's safe. And it's like, okay, it's not safe. But they keep doing it. So I don't think they care. But anyways, so that stuff, I was thinking, I wonder how much of that has been causing other issues, because it's been so weird when you talk about like your body on flesh and blood level when you know it's not flesh and blood. So it's weird. Like there's so many different levels of looking at things and understanding things and stuff. And then I just heard another person earlier today explaining something about how they perceive. And it's like, that is the whole thing. This is all about you perceiving yourself. And then they tell you that you're doing it wrong. No, something's wrong with you and all that. The whole thing. That's why you got to, be strong and fight against the stuff they say and know that you're okay. But, it takes, I don't know. Maybe it takes 60 billion years of living. I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know. Whoa. So distracting when she keeps having a fit. But I don't know. Everybody's doing their own learning, their own stuff. What was another thing I saw today? And I was like, oh my gosh, that is totally, like, you can see, if you start paying attention, you can see like these things going full circle. Like, there's just so much going full circle from our history. And there's so many people who thinks we're repeating history, but it is actually going full circle. And one thing too is, I was seeing it today, but I don't know if I can explain. So look, the people who come in and, like, say people who were like in the Roman Empire and then they played whatever part and then they come here and play some other part. You're not just playing the part or the same team. You're playing it to get the full perspective. So that's what you got to keep in mind, is everything that you're doing is to increase perspective. So you can see, like, well, if you add in this, and this is how experimenting works, like in the labs. And so, well, if you add in this, well, if you did this, well, if you did it at this time, what if you did it at that time? What if you had this? What if they ate that for breakfast? It's all this, like, trying things. And that's why they try it all on us. And that's why they track our data. And they want to know, like, whose DNA is whose and how they can take this and what they can take. And I bet you there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come out. Like, I don't know. Because this is so multi-level. It's hard to say. Because I don't know if it was part of what we came here to learn was something because they were killing people prematurely. And that's part of the whole thing. That's part of what we're waking up to. And like, I know there's other people like me who felt like that they kept trying to kill us. Like so many times, like I should have died. Like, I don't know if there was some of us that, we just kept going and they had an easier time killing some people, but it's all part of the roles, no matter what. That's the thing. They're just roles that everybody's playing. So, and it's just roles to get a bigger story, a bigger picture, more perspective, to be able to see more clearly. That's what everything is about, is being able to see and being able to, because seeing is building compassion. Because when you go in and experience something, then you see like, oh, well, yeah, I do something different in this situation, or, you do if you're pushed up against it. Like you get a new perspective. It's very different standing across the street deciding what someone's doing than being the person who's doing it. And so you get all these different perspectives as a soul, because from all different perspectives you learn and grow. Because even as the one who's standing across the street thinking they know, look at all the lessons. So, and I feel like that is a big thing that's about to happen. I feel like there's a lot of people who have been looking at certain people thinking, they're wacky and crazy and stuff. And it is like when everything turns, it is like this whole new perspective they're going to get. And that is what it is for. It's this increasing in perspective. And that's why I've said before, you don't go into like ego or resentment or bitter. Well, you got to do whatever you do. You can't just stop doing something because I say just increase your awareness. Be aware of what you're doing. Think it through. Is this what you really want to do? Why are you doing it? And that is just a part of the growing and the development. And what I was thinking too is like, there's so many people, like it's a whole narrative, it's a whole push for people to abandon people who hurt their feelings or bother them or something like that. And so it still leaves the people who had their feelings are being not growing and developing better boundaries. And especially in an instance where it's more of a safe space, in most cases, I can't say in every case because there's some pretty horrible parents out there. So, but in most cases, in families, is your safest place to figure out how to set your boundaries, because there's more of a solid connection in most cases. I mean, we still have a lot of broken families, a lot of broken people, a lot of really horrible stuff, man. More people doing like another horrible dog one. There's so many horrible dog ones. This woman, I think she's in Florida or something, and she not only shot her dog in the head, and then she taped its mouth shut because it didn't die. And so she wrapped its nose, snout, or whatever in duct tape, and then threw him out in the woods. And then somebody just happened to find him, took him to the vet, rescuing him and stuff, and they were able to track back and find out it was her own dog. There's like so many bad, like, fuck. But all those people, like, those are their lessons. Those dogs and stuff are souls. Like, there's a karmic bound. Like, there's a lot of shit going on. Like, it's a whole more levels than what people think is going on. Like, it's a lot more comprehensive. Like, for one thing, so they just dumped about like 100 alligators in the Rio Grande. And this woman who's down there, she said, like, she had heard it, but she thought, no way. But apparently somebody did. And so, they don't know, not everybody knows. I don't even know if the news is even talking about it yet. But that, is this like do-gooder? Like, who is it? It's probably just the dark people, the ones that are on the dark team. Like, there's a light team and a dark team. The dark team is pretty envelops a lot of different, like, they swallowed up a lot of different gangs and stuff like that. So some vicious people. And it's just sad, like, but to me, I feel like a part of this is, like I had said, is to get people to question their humanity. And I had just seen the same person who keeps just defending themselves. It's just like, you got to stop and think about some of the stuff that people say. You don't just fire back. Like, stop and think about stuff. I mean, I can't believe how many things that she has been under attack for as of late. And she just fires back. But so Trump, like I had said before, I had noticed this back on the Facebook time where I was like, this guy is bringing up certain parts of people. I didn't know the whole thing at the time. I could just understand. I just could see he did things and said things that made people think about things. It made them realign, look at themselves morally, and it made a lot of question. As part of the awakening. That's what I keep trying to say. That's what he is a catalyst. Everybody wants him to be their savior. He's a catalyst. He's somebody to shake things up, but he's also, because he plays such a key role, he's going to be somebody who's like a step down character who will, help people across the bridge, because there's a huge amount of people that trust him. And I think there's going to be probably more for however shit is going to go down, whatever's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be something to really build trust on him, just because for such a mass amount of people that have been so misled for so long, they need it to kind of be redirected in a more positive way. And you still, these people are just like, think that the answer is voting. No, that is surrendering. That's saying, yes, please govern me. I'll pick one of you. It's like, no, you don't. You just keep saying no, no, no to all their shit. And even if it starts out mentally, just keep working towards the standing firm and like, no, I don't need that shit. And there's so many people who are so like push and push and push, like, oh, I mean, we're going to be purging a lot of that for over the next couple of months, I guess. Or until, Joe falls off the fucking stage or something. But the one girl, somebody had said to her, like, so you don't care about immigrants, that you just let them die or whatever, you don't care about them as humans. And then she said, I care about them as humans. And then she started going into like immigration rules and laws or something like that. It's like, that is what you're not getting. Like, the land is free. There is nobody who owns the land. They sold us something that they didn't even own. They not only did they not own it, it's stolen land. They stole it from other people, and then they sold it to us, and we all just bought it. We bought it along. We've bought on every little fucking hook they hang. We just jump right on, and they know, they play us like a fucking fiddle, and that is what the feeling of shame comes from. Because you've been played. You've been played like a little bitch. Yeah. So, yeah, it feels yucky. Feels yuck. And it's going to be a lot more of that. A lot more people feeling the shame and the pain. But so, but in her case, she just became defensive. Of course she cares about humans, but, the border and America and all this stuff. And, the other guy, he opened it up. He created all this. It's like, no, the universe created all this. This is happening because we're going into a collective state of mind of human compassion and the understanding of all life and being and what it is and who we are and all of that stuff. And we are all the same. And they can't tell us where to go, how to go, what to take, where to go, nothing. Like, I just saw somebody do a video that said like 150 years ago, we didn't have licenses for doing hair. We didn't have licenses for fishing, licenses for marriage, licenses for drive, none of this stuff. They've just added on more things, more and more control, more and more control. And then we've just allowed it because in the process, they've made us fight with each other. They made us feel bad about ourselves. They made us feel like, like we're not deserving. And so there's a lot of reprogramming. That's what I've said. There is a lot of reprogramming yourself because of how they've programmed you. And that is, what you're in the process of doing. Is you are the ascension, reprogramming yourself into what it is you want, where do you want to be and stuff like that. And it's not just any old vague thing. It's not just like, okay, well, what I really like. No, it is. That's what is so weird with all these people who think they're so spiritual and they're just manifesting whatever. It's like you're not very tuned into yourself because yourself has a life path. Yourself has something you came here to do. You're the one who's been blocking it because you don't believe in yourself. And once you start doing the work and you believe in yourself, you get onto your life path. And then things start unfolding in the direction that will fulfill you and make you feel happy and complete because you are doing the thing you came here to do. And so, there's just there's a lot of murky water to get through in this awakening so that you can start, doing the work on you to release the old stuff, to raise your vibration, to release the old parts of yourself, to let go of this farce of a reality. Well, it's a real reality. It's not, it's real. Like you come here and you really go to a place, you really go into a reality, into an experience, and you go in and have literally it's like a profound experience because it makes change. It changes you. You develop, you grow from the experience. Even when you are around people who you think like, oh my God, they never grow. They don't, you still have to face yourself. You still have to face your life review. So and that's a part of what they have to face. So you don't get away, you can't get away from yourself. It's impossible. You can't get away from the balance, the universal balance. You can't get away from what's real. Like we live in a place, or we think we live in a place that is so fake and artificial. And so people don't understand that there is like there's real laws. And these people are breaking real laws. Like the, something about, because it is, it was like they trick people to get them to go along with something. But because like I've said before, you can't go against somebody else's energy, somebody else's life force or whatever. That is bad karma. That is like, that's why you don't go do stuff to kid, like none of that stuff, animal, none of that. And so these people who are in so in the people who are doing the bad stuff to people and to kids and whatever, that is I mean, a part of it is the game, part of it is the role, part of it is the what we're playing out, the movie that we're in. But the souls come in because it's like learning and cleansing, kind of like you are fixing karma. You're like putting things in order, like you're going in and cleaning house, like, because every experience leaves a mess somewhere. And so you have got, cleaning up to do. And that is what this kind of thing is. This is like what we're going through. It's like soul spring cleaning. It's like cleaning it all out. Like, let's go through all of the old garbage. And, you got to think about like 61 billion years is possible. Like, it could probably even be way more than that. It is, however long your energy has been experiencing itself and it has been aware of itself. And you have to like tap into that side of yourself. And, and then you tap into your lessons and what you've learned and how you've grown throughout the stuff. Like you can see and understand more of your patterns and stuff, because it is like this like flip-flopping kind of thing, like I can totally understand some of my stuff, like of the things that you're putting back into balance that you would put out of balance. So, but like, like I said before, like some of these people have got such a huge, some of these people have been alive for a long, long time. Like their soul has been here for a long, long time. I don't know if they jump from, if they really have been doing clones for it. Like, I don't know what they do. I think a part of it is like they have this vampiric thing, like they're other kind of beings. Like there's a lot more that is hidden from us. And, because we are just like, we are I heard somebody say, I thought this was good, because we are free range we are free-range humans on a tax farm. I think they said free-range humans on a tax farm. Like, yeah, basically, that's our habitat. But, that is, uh, I just get all these flashes of all, like, what humans have done to animals and how they have restricted them and what is being purged out right now, too. Like, that we've domesticated this certain animal and then what we have done and how much harm, but each soul has their own. Like, we don't, we don't, it's like all of society, there's like, we don't owe, it's like we don't have their karma. We don't owe on their karma. And so, but there is a lot of stuff that goes on, and see, that's where you got to learn from the stuff. But it isn't, even though it's like a part of all the learning of all of society, it's not like we have a karmic debt, even though it is a part of the brokenness of society. And somewhere along the way, we've all allowed these things to occur. But it's the soul that creates the experience, that does a haphazard event or something, that is their karma, and when you're hurting animals and stuff like that, it has a soul. Like, that is the same. It isn't like you get a pass. Oh, that was a pass. Like, oh, that soul doesn't matter. No, no, that's not it. When you don't have respect for life, and you don't have respect, but it isn't like you're going to hell. Don't think of it as like that punishment. No, you just go through lives until you learn to have compassion, until you learn that, some of these people who are doing horrible things to animals, these are probably huge lessons, because they're going to go in and see in their, they're going to, well, some of them are going to jail, so they're going to get consequences, but there is more to it when you go in and you see the pain that you cause, and you feel the pain you cause. You don't get to just watch it. You have to feel it. You have to feel what the other being felt. So there's some bad stuff, man. Really bad. I would think, ugh, I don't even know what to think about it. Honestly, it's like, fuck, I don't even want to think about it. There's just a lot of people who are doing shit where it's just like, oh my gosh, that is going to be a lot to face. But, all the souls are learning their own stuff. And, but, when Trump saying stuff like he's going to go immediately and clean up the border, he's going to, get all these people out of here and stuff like that. I think that is so far on one side that it is to get you to dial into balance for yourself. That's why I call him a catalyst, is because he pushes this extreme stuff so that it makes you turn something on where it's like, well, I don't like that. Well, I don't want that. And so it gives a stopping point, an outrageous stopping point. And so then when you have people that go in and defend that, it's like, why are you defending that? Why are you saying that that's okay? And what's wild too is, I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about how many times, even going around and talking to me, like, there's a lot of people, like, when I talk, they think I'm talking religious, because I talk about the universe and how the universe works, and how, I talk it like that. And then people think like, okay, like I'm some sort of weirdo or whatever. And even people who are religious, like, no, and I was thinking, it's weird, is like how talking about God is like, oh, well, that's a Sunday thing. You can talk about that on Sunday with a certain group of people, but other than that, you're weird. It's like, man, our world has been cut off from Christ. It's like, seriously, it has. Like, and cut off from Christ is cut off from yourself. It's like out in the dark. It's out in the desert. It's not knowing who you are, where you are, what you're doing. That is, that to me that's hell. That is what hell is. That is the hell that people are in. is the confusion and the sadness, because you don't feel those feelings when you feel connected, because you know that this is not real, nothing can hurt you, and the experiences you're going through are for you to learn and grow. Like, you see it in a different, more like more complex perspective of what life is all about. And so it changes, you know, your how you feel about it. And so all these people, you know, who are, I don't know, it seems like a lot of pressure too, like to, you know, you're gonna go to hell, or you gotta make sure you please Jesus or God or whatever. And there's so much like going right now too with like I really hope this red heifer thing is not going to go down. Like, it's they got 5 of them, not just one. Like, there's people that think they're just doing one. No, they got 5, and they're really hard to even find. They have to meet so much criteria, and so they found 5 perfect ones. And so they're gonna do them. They're supposed to do all of them, slaughter them all. And I don't know if it's gonna happen. If it's gonna happen, I think it's gonna be so outrageous to get people to see, like, this is how they kill your food. Like, what are you getting upset about? Like, because there's people who want him to do something about animal activists and stuff like that. It's like everything that is going on is to make you look at things in a more deeper way, to see things more deeper. And like, I think when people are bringing up about the border, that is supposed to be, they're supposed to be looking at it more deeper, and they just, you know, want to argue about it. They just want to stay on one side or the other. Hold on. Come on, please, hurry up. So I'm doing this. You already know that. This is what I'm doing right here. Gosh, she just wants me to be doing what she wants me to be doing all the time. And she's got such an attitude lately. And her one sore had, she keeps having these cysts pop. And this one is really bugging her. And it already popped a few days ago, and I thought it was doing better. So I don't know what's up with that. And then one on the back of her leg just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And my mom told me that, because I said, well, I think I'll come to Spokane and after my surgery, and then I'll take Stella to the surgeon who did her cat's surgery on the back of his leg, because they cut one of those off and said it was cancer and cut it off. And so she said that she had it cut off 2 times before, and that it's growing back again, but that she started giving him this other stuff. And they had done all this research. She's friends with all these rescue people and stuff. And they'd done this research, and they decided that this was going to do whatever. And it's supposed to help with the, I think, skin parasites. Like, I'll definitely put some there. But so she, it's for goat cleanse. So not horse paste, goat. And I think it's a liquid, but it's way more expensive too. And so I'm going to try that. And I'd rather try everything natural before they go in and start cutting things off of her. And I keep on thinking, like, I keep getting this vision, but it's like, oh, but like, like I would hear about this stuff as a nurse, but a lot of times this was because something would happen that they didn't want this to happen, and it would happen. So it can be like a piece of dental floss. It could be like a long piece of hair. Like, a woman could have really long hair and be changing her little boy's diaper, not realize that she's got a hair that's got all twisted on there, and the hair will keep twisting. It will castrate. It will just take it right off. And and that's happened. And with dental floss and other things too. But to me, I keep thinking, like, that would be something to totally, like, wrap some dental floss around and let it just kind of sever itself off like that. But, but I don't know, because I was like, fuck, if it's full of like toxins and stuff, and then that went back in, like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna get this new stuff. Is supposed to be here Tuesday, and I think Tuesday. So I'm gonna try that on her and see if I, because she's still taking the Tamoxil, and I thought I was doing a lot better. I thought so many of these sores went away when she went off the dog food too, like the kibble, and and then she said, but she has a bunch of them right now. But that one, right when I thought it was getting smaller, and now it just it looks like it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when I did the horse paste the last time, it seemed like it kind of wore her out. Where I was like, man, maybe this is pretty tough on it. Like, it's for a horse. Like, even though, you don't give them very much. Like, I don't know how much a horse takes. I don't even know how much a horse weighs. Maybe they take a lot of the syringe because it's not very much in it. But we just take out enough, like, it's like about that much, like the end of your finger. It's like how much you put on your toothpaste. It is like toothpaste too. Or how much you put on your toothbrush or toothpaste. And it tastes like toothpaste too. It's like minty like that. And then you're supposed to just lick it off. And so anyways, this one is going to be a liquid one. And I'm going to try that on her. I'm not going to, well, I'm going to put some on my face, like right there. I'm not going to take it, I don't think. But anyways, we'll see what that does. So I'll keep you updated on that. And then let me think, because it seems like there was something I was going to say about the hair stuff. Is it copper? I know I already had said about, like, you need to have your copper has to be up in order to absorb iron. You need to be cooking in cast iron. And was it some new information on salts? Oh, maybe that's what it was, because Amy had sent me a video. Oh, maybe that's what it was. Amy had sent me a video, and it was talking about that during the Roman times that mineral salts were currency. Like, they had great value. That was the most valuable thing, was the mineral salts, because you needed them so bad for your nutrition. And there's so many soldiers, and they needed this to be strong and healthy and stuff. And so the mineral salts, like, they've known about that for a long time. And that's why they did things like iodized it or whatever they did to try and make it so it didn't have minerals and didn't have anything in it to make us better or healthy. And but so that is a big part of the just like the simple things to me is cooking in the cast iron, and then drinking from a copper cup, then using mineral salts. And then, we should have naturally be taking, vitamin C, like fruits or something. There should be some way that you naturally get vitamin C, like in your environment. Right now, like, things are just jacked up. So jacked up. So you have to find, orange juice or whatever. I keep getting that pog juice and grapefruit juice just because I've heard so many things. Like, I like orange juice, but it's like, it doesn't even look like juice. It looks like pulp that is beat to shit. And then they strain it, make that thick orange, like, I don't know. I've just heard so many bad things with orange juice, and I was like, I think you're better off getting some kind of juices or even lemons or limes and making some, infusing water. You can figure out, what works for you and in your environment, because, like, not everything grows in everybody's area the same. And everything in your area is better for you. Like, you have an adaptation kind of what you need. But you have your DNA too. So you have other things. It gets more complex, but still, like, things like environmentally, like, that you need are supposed to be right there. That's how it works. That's why, like, things that you need will start growing. Weeds and stuff, like, will start growing. Like, your yard will tell you what it is you need. It will just grow it for you. It's just like magic. And, but, we were taught to ignore that, kill all that. I mean, kill it, kill it. Like, killing the weeds and stuff like that, when they're sitting there trying to grow for you, make you better, and like the planet is trying to work with you, and we're just like, fuck them. It's like we weren't even tuning in to the earth or what it was doing. We were just going with the 3D, what they told us. Because when you tap into the earth and you see, then you feel, the energy of life, the connection of, your soul connection, what you are and who you are. You're a part of something bigger. So anyways, that is all, part of the awakening and part of the process, part of figuring it all out. And, but there's so many people lost, and I think I'm lost right now. I forgot what I was talking about. Seems like I was talking about, oh yeah, because the food thing, the mineral salts. Oh yeah, because the vitamin C, because I'm going to stop. Like, my magnesium pills are almost gone. I'm not going to get any more. And then selenium, when it's gone, I'm not going to get any more. I'm just going to take these ones I have. And then I'm just going to do the mineral salts. And I bet you that it gets enough minerals from that. So I'm just going to do that. And then the vitamin D, see if we had more sun, but we have so much interference with the sun. So it's hard to, I mean, you're better off just taking some vitamin D until like we get all through this. But so like a few vitamins, and then the rest of it is just like, taking better care of yourself. And oh yeah, I wanted to say this because this was kind of trippy. And so I was sitting on the couch, and like that wall over there, there's like a darkness because I made this pretend bearskin rug that I hung on the wall. And so I had my hands up, and I was doing something. I don't remember what I was doing. I do weird shit all the time. I was doing something, but I started noticing the color, like the aura or whatever, like around my hands, and I could see this energy. And so I started going back and forth, and I was doing some stuff, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is how you make a portal. Yeah, because you could see the energy. I could totally see the energy, and it changed like this shape. And in movies, think about how many times that they have shown that, where, you make this thing and then you throw it and then you jump through it. And so I was sitting there and I started doing it, and then this like a circle thing came, but it like looked kind of like a marble or something. Like it had this like swirl kind of, and I was like, it kind of freaked me out for a second. I don't remember if I let go or whatever. And then I started trying to do it again. And anyways, I was seeing like you could see the color, you could see the energy, and then you can and you have energy points that come out of your hands. So you have energy that comes out like Spider-Man. And this is what a lot of people are doing, like the more are led to do a lot of like this kinetic kind of like moving things without touching them and stuff. There's a whole bunch of those kinds of people. But that is when you are able to direct the energy like this coming out of your hand, like shoot it. That's how we start becoming like what we think of, or they told us, is superheroes. But no, it's just who we are. Like they told us, hey, this is superheroes. These people are special. It's like, no, that's what we are. We just got to learn it now. We got to like catch up with ourselves. But so you have energy that comes out of your hands. And then, when I was in that Reiki class and stuff is where I learned how to start feeling the energy, and you can start moving it back and forth, and you can feel it. And whenever you get rid of it, though, you got to remember to throw it down into the ground, throw the energy back down to the ground. And then the earth messes with it, like, transmutes it or something is what I've heard. But but you got to watch out because you really are creating energy. And I seriously did see a portal start to open, or it changed frequency. Like it was not the same frequency. And I was like, oh my gosh. So whatever our frequency is, that we would be able to create, make our own portal and be able to move into the places that we can move into, because you can't move beyond your own vibration. You just can't. You can't go even when you are in your dead life, then you still can't move past your vibration. Your vibration keeps you where you're allowed to go. Like your vibration holds you. And the only way to be able to move into your vibration is like be trained, to go learn, to go grow, that's what incarnating is all about, is the expansion of self, to learn and to grow, because that is how you can accept more and be around more. And that is why, like, look at what all we're having to go through for this big jump, to be able to even go into this more galactic space with these other beings and stuff, that years, like how many ever time of in this place, in their matter of time, has already been through these experiences. And then somehow we got cut off from our the people who were there trying to help us, the higher, more spiritual, advanced beings and stuff. And, I don't know, why. I don't know the whole story, I guess. Maybe we'll start hearing some more of our history. Maybe that is going to be a part of when these beings all start coming and we start getting to hear, like, what's the deal? What are we doing here? How long have we been here? How long has anybody been visiting us? And, I think I want to know more about, like, the people, like, about them creating some of us in labs and stuff. Well, I mean, all of the people, everybody, like this whole thing is just based on that, really. So, it's no surprise that they continue doing that. It's just weird when you start thinking about, like, but God, and this was something today too that I was seeing. So going like on TikTok, and so I would see this girl, and then the very next girl would look exactly like her with different hair. The very next girl would look exactly like her. I was going back and forth like, okay, am I freaking out? Like, what the hell? How do they look so much alike? And I was like, man, there are some people that look like they're templates. It looks like they just cut them out of the same fucking clones, like it's weird. And so anyways, I was just noticing that, and I was thinking, man, is that going to be a part of our truth? Like, how many people really are just clones or something? Like, sometimes I wonder if I'm a robot. I swear to God, I do. It's like, how did I don't know. There's just some things that I question. Like, why did so many people get off track? Like, how did so many people get off track, man? Like, I don't know. It's like something interesting, like, to hear. Like, I don't know. I think that would be cool. We got to go to story time at the Palladians. They'll tell us about what happened here. Go talk to some Lyrians, Syrians, all these different beings. Ask them what was it like a long time ago here, because a lot of these people have been around, like where we've been going and coming, going and coming and going and coming. They have a more bigger view, like they have watched a lot of stuff go down and happen. And and I don't even know, like, I know that we don't have that linear link that so many people are looking for in our history. It's a lot more chopped up. It's a lot more warring. It's a lot more, because it just has to do, to me, I think, with the ages. Like, it has to do with these blocks of time and the lesson plans that are available through the blocks of time. So I think it is more about that. And then the souls come in, like, you know, like, oh, all these different, like all the different lives now for the age of Aquarius, all the different opportunities of experience to be able to go into, because it's all new experiences. And I really think that whatever one we are birthed right now, and then there's going to be people who are going to be still birthed in, but that we are birthed into, that we are extending that, like, is going to keep going. Like, we're not going to be ending. So this person that we're creating is going to keep going for a long, long time. And but there'll still be people who will be birthed in. But anyways, I think that there's something, you know, to that, to the part of you that develops through this. But it isn't like, it's not like you're picking new role. Well, it's like you're developing a role. It's like you're creating a role for yourself. But it isn't like, I don't think the age of Aquarius is going to be the same kind of like incarnating kind of thing. I think it's going to be way more of like a heavenly kind of place. Like, it's going to be, sometimes when you think about like if it's going to be a heavenly place and there's going to be a lot of disasters and stuff, that it's like, well, I don't know. Is it all going to be that we're all going to die or something? But I don't think but death isn't real. But we're moving into this different state. Like, I don't think it's going to, like you think about like the people in the Pleiades, like they don't go in, like they've been these same people for like, for us, what is like 30,000 years. They've been that same person. They don't go in and figure out a new plan and what they're going to learn and stuff like that. It's like we're graduating from that. But they're also, you know, wherever you graduate, your level is, which you're getting all this opportunity to do all this work. That is where your vibration is. Like, you won't be able to, just because you're dead and you're in the heavens, you won't be able to go past your vibration. Although your vibration is probably way, way higher than what you think. And it's probably way, way higher than what it appears to be. But all I know is that in this process, you need to be able to face yourself and heal the stuff that you have done to yourself, the things that you have done to other people, the parts of you that were attached to this reality, the parts that you played. You got to heal and let go of all this stuff. And like I had said before, it's all like perfectly put together to heal old wounds and stuff for your soul, like closing out cycles. And so it's all perfectly set so that you release the things you're supposed to release. But you know, you just got to make sure that you are focusing on that. And they've got so many people distracted with so many different things, but focusing on your spiritual growth and healing and all of that stuff. And then, you know, that puts you going in a better direction, because there's going to be more and more and more. Like, there's going to be a lot. Like, there's going to be things like, there's just going to be a lot of twists, a lot of things that people are not going to see coming, a lot of things where people think like they've got it all figured out, they know the thing, and then there's going to be this big twist, and it's going to be that big twist is going to all of a sudden shake them up over what it is they are facing, because they are not going to see it coming. They're not. It's going to be unexpected. And so anyways, that is you know, what we are in the process of. And the more awareness you have of it, the more that you are what is that word? Proactive. The more you are proactive in your own growth. So it's, you know, I think it's like vital, but, you know, your soul will tell you what it is for you. You know, don't just think it's important because I say it's important. You got to feel this stuff. You know, this is the stuff of you figuring out who you are, you know, and people like me who are talking, we're just giving you reference. It's like reference or resources or something to help you figure out who you, because it still is the same thing of you having to figure yourself out. And, we do have such a super dependent society, because I'm telling you, there is so many people who come onto my comments on TikTok and stuff, and they're always like, they want to know all this stuff. And, I've already made the playlist and I put all those videos together and stuff, but they always are asking all these same questions. Like, we all kind of want our hands held. We all kind of want to be walked through things. We all kind of want, to feel secure and helped and stuff. And right now, it's not going to feel so much like that because we haven't set our society up like that yet. It's kind of very haphazard and bumpy. But those developments help us to become more independent, more sovereign, more, well, I'll figure it out. I'll go look it up. I'll just try it and see what happens. There's a lot of this stuff. It's like, it's like $20. Well, okay, I'll try it for $20. Like, or $10. Like, even that thing, that jade thing, the face lymph mover, or whatever it is, that's like $6. So that thing is like $6, and the little suction thing is like $9. So, and there was a whole bunch of different ones. Like, if you want to do those, and I think that is, cupping. I think it's kind of like the same thing as like, I think all that stuff is like, Eastern philosophy kind of stuff, like, cupping, acupuncture, acupressure, all of it. And one of these ladies who I follow, who does the face yoga and stuff, and she was saying that people are always telling her, oh, well, because you're Oriental, so you just have good skin, so your skin doesn't age. And so she showed some older pictures, like when she was pregnant and stuff. She was like more tired, her face was more droopy and stuff, just because she was wore out. And, when you're pregnant too, it pulls, you've got a second human sucking off of your life force. And, we're already mineral deficient. So she had, what was I going to say? So, mineral deficiency, pregnant. Oh, yeah. And so she was showing all these different face things, these face, like, all these different things. So, to me, like, go in the mirror and start noticing, like, different ways you can turn your face, to hold your tongue, it's kind of like stand in the mirror every day for like 10 minutes and make weird faces at yourself. And that will give you a facial workout. And then also make sure, you're moving the lymph out to a drainage. So it's not making your face puffy. You got to move that stuff. And don't be scared of your skin. They've told us, our whole time. I've never done this thing. Like, I've seen a lot of people just rub the shit out of their eyes. I've never done that. But I'm not like, oh, like, don't touch them. No, I'll touch them. Like, I push on my skin, so don't feel like you have to be like, oh, you can't barely touch it or anything. No, you can. And remember, you're putting blood flow in. So you're making it get more healthy. So the more of, like, and that's why I said, like, especially if you're losing your hair and stuff as a man, do some of this scalp stimulation, like rubbing your head. I do it all the time. I just think it feels good. But it's crazy how much tension that you build in the top of your head and on the back of your head and stuff just through the day. So all of those kinds of things. And everything is about, like, these energy spots, releasing this energy. Even wrinkles and stuff is where you're holding in old energy, old pain, old trauma, old anger, old resentment. A lot of resentment is built towards yourself because of not having good boundaries, not standing up for yourself, not believing in yourself, allowing other people to walk all over you and treat you bad. So a lot of stuff, you just can keep going in this, self depravity, just like hating yourself and just beating yourself down all the time, thinking that you have no value, no worth. And so this is, whatever your process is to build yourself back up, to start seeing you have value, you have worth, that you have a purpose, that you're alive, you're here, there's a reason, and that you are the one who it's your adventure. It's your, it is, what is that called when the people who would, explore, like you're the explorer of your own life. So it is, and you got to be excited about it, like to want to know more, to experience more, to feel better, to do better, to be better. I think a lot of people are just so beat down and feeling so, uh, but it is going to be a big shake up, wake up, man. This is going to be like, fuck, when you see like how people are just like so, uh, locked into hatefulness and division and bitterness and stuff. It's like, but this is so that their soul can see it for themselves. It's like, that's why when the thing happens, it's so that they can see that for themselves. Like we can see it and I'm fine and clear. Like they can't see it. They don't know that they're doing that. They don't know they're behaving that way. They are just feeling it on the inside and reacting to how they feel on the inside. And there's so much fear created. So people have so much reaction because, they're scared of this, they're scared of that. And what's going to happen, and they're already shorting us resources. What are we going to do? Like whatever it is that you are in a panic about, you'll start, being more panicked and scared. And so, but that is where you start learning how to control yourself, control your emotions, control your mind, being able to be logical, look around. And then on a spiritual level, it's like nothing can happen to you that's not meant to happen to you. And all the things that are happening to other people, they set that shit up. Like God himself didn't just say, hey, you over there, you're going to get fucked today. No, they set this shit up themselves. All the souls came up with their own stories to come in and experience. And so because it happens to them doesn't mean it can happen to us. They come up with that weird shit. And that's not to say that we don't come up with our own weird shit. Like, I can't tell you, like, some weird shit's not going to happen. I don't know what you plan for yourself. Like, I didn't know what I planned for myself. But you just got to go with the flow. And, not get all too caught up in it and realize like, oh, you're just on a ride. You're on a ride so that yourself can watch yourself and experience yourself and see yourself and grow yourself. It's like, it's really all about you, basically. It's all about you. So you got to remember to love yourself, to love everyone, and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you later.